welcome in. Hi, I'm Kimora if you know me, and if you don't know me, I'm Kimora. In today's video, we are doing a December TBR with a twist. I'm not doing a TBR jar. I'm not doing a wrapping all my books in wrapping paper and then blindly choosing the books. I'm simply doing my name picks my TBR. If you don't know me, my name's Kimora, Kymora, and I want to give a disclaimer. We're gonna do a little bit of a twist with this book. I don't have any books. Like, I had to do this so either the author's name has a Y in it, like the first letter of the first name or the first letter of the last name has to have a Y, has to start with a Y, for example, or another example, if it's like a long title, one of the words has to start with a Y. You'll see in a second, but let's just say I picked a Fourth Wing for Y because Rebecca Yarrow's her last name starts with a Y. That's why. Because for some of these, even though my name's only 6 letters, for some reason, some of the letters in my name, I don't have any books where the title starts with a Y. Or K or M. I'm giving it away, but you can see what I'm trying to say. I got this video idea from Kendall Watson. I don't remember who she got it from, but you know, that's what we're doing. I'm starting a new thing before the year ends. I don't know why I just don't start it next year. At the end of each one of these TBR videos, we will pick a DNF book that I also have to read in the month of December because we are trying to make it so I don't have any books that I've DNF'd. So for those of us who are new here for November, I did a DNF TBR and I put, it wasn't this jar, but I had a jar full of DNF books with their names in this jar, and I picked 5 of them. For each month until I don't have any more names, I'm going to pull one name and add it to the list instead of just doing a whole TBR with, there's a neighbor walking their dog, with all the DNFs, because that didn't work out last month. But let's get into it. I already picked out the books because I couldn't for the life of me. I was gonna do my last name, but my last name's 10 letters, and so Singletary felt harder to find letters for than Kimora. And a lot of the letters I was finding were like the second or third book in a series that I've never read. So I was like, I can't read this 5th book in a series without reading the other 4, and then I have to have 5 other books I have to read in that month. It really wasn't making any sense. So I have the list of books. I'm not gonna show you, but of course the first letter of my name starts with a K. So for K, I have The King of Wrath by Anna Huang. This is the first book in the King of Sins series. I was gonna wait till the series was over to attempt to read this book, but I was like, I don't really care. I would wait if it followed the same exact characters, but I think this is just an interconnected standalone series. I think it's the same thing like her other series, Twisted Love, where the characters know each other or something like that. But this book follows Vivian and Dante. I think it's a forced marriage plot, I think. Yeah, it's a fake marriage plot or forced marriage or one of the two. I do know that for sure. So this is the first book. So for my second book, How to Solve Your Own Murder. Get it? Because there's a Y in your. It's a, yeah. I know it was a cop-out, but I literally have no books that start with Y. None of them. None of the books on my TBR starts with Y. And I don't want to have to buy a book that starts with Y, because then I'd have to buy multiple other books for the letter of my name. I don't remember the synopsis, but I do remember when I first started reading, I don't know if I've talked about this before with this book, when I first started reading, I would always see this book in Barnes & Nobles, and I told myself one day I'd buy it. Didn't buy it in Barnes & Nobles, but I finally got it, and I want to at least read it before the end of this year, because the 3rd book comes out next year. So, editing Kimora. I had to cut out me explaining the book because I sounded stupid. Right. So let me explain it to you now that I've read it on Goodreads. This woman, she gets told that she's going to die by a fortune teller. 60 years go by. We pick it up with her great niece. Yeah, her great niece, and she gets called out to her estate, and she finds that she's already dead. So she's trying to basically solve her murder, I believe is what it's telling me. Don't take my word for it, but that's my synopsis for you. on Goodreads. I really did sound stupid when I could insert it, but I'm not going to. I really did sound stupid when I was trying to explain it while staring at the book. I was staring at the back of the book, trying to explain the book to you, and I couldn't do it. I always felt the title has intrigued me, so we're gonna read it. For the letter M, because you know that's the third letter in my name, The Ministry of Time by Haley Bradley. If I'm saying her name right. Me and names don't go well. Once again, I think I've said this before, but I found this book through Haley Fam. She read it. She absolutely loved it. It follows a woman, and she kind of, I believe she works for like a time travel agency kind of thing, where she gets like, she has to basically, where they bring like people from the past to the present, her present, the future, her present, and they have to basically, what's the word I'm looking for? If I remember correctly, this woman gets assigned, that's the word I'm looking for, this man, and she's supposed to help him like include, like, that's what this book is about. And I also, this is one of the books that I found out about later in the year, but I really hope I get to finish this before the year is over. This is gonna be like, this is probably one of the first books I'm probably gonna pick up after the book that I'm reading right now, which is not on this list. I made an impulse purchase and we're reading it. For the O of my name, we have a book that I might not get to. There are two of these books that I probably won't get to because they're either a part of a series or a duology, and this is one of them. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I don't know much about this series. I do know that I said it before, but a booktuber talked about it. She absolutely loved it recently, and I guess I'm drawing a blank today, but I should put her YouTube on the screen somewhere. She talked about it. She liked it. All I know is it's kind of like a goth fantasy. I'm not the biggest fantasy lover, but I'm always for trying new things, even if I hate it. You just won't see me talk about it as much if I hate it. It'll just get put in a box. It never get talked about again. But the only reason why I don't think I'll get to this one is because this is a duology, and I hate reading series and not continuing them on like in the same amount of time that I read like the first or second book, because I don't, for some reason my brain can't remember the information that I'm being told when I go to read the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth book, and I have to reread the first one to then read the rest of the series. And that just, so I'm probably, if I do read this, it'll probably towards the end of the month, and I'll probably read the second one with it. But obviously it's One Dark Window, and there's an L in my name. For the R in my name, this once again is not a book that starts with the letter R, but the author's name does start with an R. I almost called it One Dark Window. Looked straight at it and I was like, okay. The author's name is Riley Sager. Proceeded to say The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm a mood reader, so I don't really care about like reading festive books. So I know a lot of you guys are probably mad. You don't have any Christmas books. I DNF'd the one Christmas book I had because I didn't like it. Scrapped a whole video idea because of it. And so we'll try again next year. Hold my hand, okay? I'm sorry. But I don't know much about this book, but I do know there's a woman, she's widow, she goes up to this lake, she sees stuff across from the lake, and you know, it's like one of those situations, the woman across, what was the movie called? The woman in the window across the, what was it called? You know the movie the TV show that I'm talking about, that lady with the long title. Wait, what is the actress Christian Bell? Is that who I'm thinking about? The woman in the window across, it's on the tip of my tongue, but that's what it's reminding of. But yeah, this is my R. I don't know, once again, I don't know much about this except for the synopsis I gave you. This will be my first Riley Sager book that I hopefully get to. And then the last book, was a cop-out because I know I'm not going to read this because this is a part of a series and I don't like reading series away from each other. I would hate to read this book by the end of December and then have to read the rest of the series in January. Without further ado, you already saw it. We have Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I've been saying that I'm going to read this series all year. It's December. We're not getting to it. But I hope, once again, I hate reading series and then picking up the rest of the series. I'm not the type of person who read a series as it comes out. I don't like watching TV shows as it comes out. I wait until it's all over and then I read it. I don't care how many years it takes, blah, blah, blah. Unless there's like a book and then there's a series made off of it. I'll just read the book and then wait till the whole series is over. But this is Assassin's Blade. This is the prequel to Throne of Glass, which starts, we're gonna talk through it because I really have to. Unless it's 50 seconds, I'll just talk through it. But yeah, I don't know what this one's about. I just know it's the prequel to Throne of Glass, and the only reason why I haven't started Throne of Glass is because I don't know what it's about. I haven't seen people ever spoil. Like, people spoil ACOTAR. I've never seen anybody spoil TOG. I call it the Throne of Glass series. So I can't wait. I know this little deer will be important, but if I do get to this month, this will be the only series that I touch. I won't touch any of the other 5 books. It'll be this one and the other 7. I think there's 7 of them. Yeah. You know how long that series is? And I have a plan, which is why I know I'm not gonna get to this, but this is the only book. But this is the only book that starts with an A that I have. I kid you not. This is the only book on my TBR that starts with an A. I know I'm not going to get to this because I want to read ACOTAR before I reread ACOTAR before I read this. And I know, like, I probably should be giving a synopsis, but once again, this is a prequel. I do not know. I do not know what this is about. So I'm sorry. But she was on my TBR. Full warning you, if she gets read this month, January will just be the Throne of Glass series. So don't be mad when I do the January TBR video and it's just 5 minutes because I hold up the TOG series and I'm like, this is what I'm reading. Don't be mad. In the January wrap up, these are all of the 7 books I read, and it's just Throne of Glass. But without further ado, the last little bit, we have the DNF list. I don't know which book I want. I don't know which book I want. If I had to pick, as much as I was dogging it, I would like to finish the Cruel Prince series because maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets better. But if it's the first book in a series, I'm putting it back. If it's Maze Runner, I'm putting it back because then I'll feel socially obligated to finish it. I have a problem. I can't see them. I just saw one of them. I'm trying to not pick that one up. It's Maze Runner. I already know it is. Oh no! No, it's not. It's Love and Olive by Jenna Evans Welch. Where? And I don't know where to put this, so I'll just put this back in there just in case we don't read it or I DNF it again. That has happened before. That has happened before. But little quick synopsis. This is the 3rd and final book in the Love and Gelato series. I DNF'd it because I was like, 500 pages of that? And I won't spoil the synopsis for you, but I was like, that's not worth my time. From what I know of it, she's going on an adventure with her father, or at least I believe so. And I was like, I don't really want to read that. It's 500 pages. It'll probably go by very quickly, but I really wasn't down for caring, so it took me 2 hours to get through the prologue when I first read this. No, that's a lie. It took me 2 hours to get through from the prologue to chapter 4, and I was like, I'm not gonna care about this. So that's my DNF book for the month. These are all the books. We'll go through them very quickly. We have The King of Wrath by Anna Huang. How to Solve Your Own Murder. I don't even think I said her name, by Kirsten Piran. I think so. Don't quote me on it. The Ministry of Time by Kayleen Bradley. You know what? At this point, you know the deal. If I get their name right, I should get a cookie at this point. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This is the realization that maybe I should have been tested for dyslexia. Or maybe I'm just stupid. It would make a lot of sense. Anyways, moving on. The self-realization. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I literally cannot pronounce people's names without someone telling me how to pronounce their names. And even if they do, I have to pronounce it in like 80 times before I get it. Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. And Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. But I am babysitting and he's on a nap. So I had to bang. I had to get this video out very quickly. Alright, so if I'm talking very fast and I have to redo this video, I'm going to. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like these sit down videos with the ambiance, shout out to Yana Reeds for that idea. If you want more of that, just let me know. Let me, please. Because I'm going to keep doing it until someone tells me to stop. Yeah. But if you guys like this video, you know what to do. Do all of that YouTube stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's any book that you want me to talk about in particular, even if my thoughts are unhinged.